Have you guys look at me because it'll look weird if you look into the camera. I can't explain why. It just makes people look
Okay.
weird.
Go right.
First things first, I'll have each of you say and spell your name.
Okay.
You can say it.
In the microphone?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Brett Rigby, Brettrigby.
Bart Rigby, Bartrigby.
Mark Rigby, Markrigby.
Bonnie Rigby, Bonnie
So, first things first, what does it mean to you guys to have recreation for over 109 years with your family owning and running this property? I mean, what does it mean to you guys to see your family recognized for something like that?
You know, it's a great honor. You know, as Celia and Jim said, you know, there's only 400 farms, you know, century farms in the state of Idaho, and only a couple of them that have been given down in this part of Idaho, southeastern Idaho. And so to be among one of those, you know, it's a great honor. I mean, to know that you're being recognized for land being in the family for a century. It just doesn't happen like that. You know, too many of the family farms are being sold off and things, so it's a great honor. Anybody else?
Well, I just would agree that it's an honor to be among the few families that have actually managed their land for, you know, more than a century. You know, I think it's harder and harder for people to stay on the land, for children of farmers to actually make it work among themselves, you know, and the world today, everybody's going so many different directions and studying, you know, different schools, different places. To come back to a place to keep a farm going for so long is you know, obviously harder and harder, but nearly impossible, I think, you know, moving forward. So, yeah, it's a great honor for us all. Yeah.
And obviously none of you guys still live here, but you know, there were times you spent here. What are some of your favorite memories from, you know, growing up here, just spending time on this property?
I'll take that one. I remember being young and the go-karts, mud around the house, you know, getting done working around the house, the yard, out in the field, whatever. Jump on that go-kart in the evening and hit the mud puddles and get as dirty as you could. A lot of good memories, moving pipe. My brother and I, pipe wars, mom breaking them up, squirrel hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, everything he did up there's a memory. Kids are missing out nowadays. They really are.
I remember one, I don't know if this was a character building thing, but I remember being dropped off in a field, a dirt field, wondering if the soles of my boots were going to melt because it was so hot, picking rock, carrying it to the nearest rock pile and dumping it off. And another one, a real quick one, was over there on the homestead piece, being dropped off on one end of the field, and my dad told us that we had to walk through there and pick rye. So whether that was something that really happens or if it was just a character building thing, I still haven't figured that out. So.
I remember, one of the things I remember most clearly is actually bologna sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
In the dirt, beside a grain truck, in the shade of a grain truck, when Dad would be taking, he was the one that was ready for lunch, but only when the sandwiches were ready. And bologna sandwiches and pimento sandwiches.
Yes.
Pickled pimento. Yeah, against the tires, leaning against the tires. Yep. So, and everybody, every one of us, I think, would the memory of learning to drive. You know, we learned to drive in the fields and maybe on the roads too, a little bit. Yep.
One of my favorite memories, of course, being the mother and worrying, and that to have these boys out in the truck, in the field, you barely could see their heads. And he would tell them, if anything goes wrong, just shut the key off.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm sure, you know, when you were kids, there were times when your parents would say, all right, we're going up to Bancroft, and you guys maybe weren't so excited, you kind of wanted to stay where you were. Are you glad for those moments now when you look back on it?
Oh, definitely. In fact, I wish there were more of them. Yeah, we, you know, I was probably, being the baby, I was probably given more liberties to, you know, force everybody to stay down in, you know, in Logan. But You know, so I do. I wish there were more of those opportunities where everybody said, "Get in the car, we're going. Your friends will be fine without you." But I do love every occasion that we did come up. It ended up being, you know, a lot more fun than I probably would have had with my friends anyway. So, yeah.
Definitely learned a lot more up here down there. But there were a lot of times that you really didn't want to leave home and come up here to do work. It's one of those things, you know, one of the things that had to be done. That's what we did. So.
Yeah, I remember there were times, you know, the late motorcycle rides from Logan to Bancroft, you know, so we could stay home as long as possible. And then we knew we had to be here, but we knew what time we had to get up in the morning to go move tide. So it didn't matter what time we got here, it was still the same time when we had to get up. So I'm going to have Margot. You want her to do the same?
Yeah, sure.
Spell your name and.
My name is Margot Rigby Harper, Harper, and I have such fond memories of the farm myself. My children loved coming here as young teenagers and hadn't been here for years and really missed the beautiful scenery. My daughter from California said if she were to live here, she wouldn't know what to do with the open space. She's so used to being crowded and on top of each other in California, so she thinks the country's so beautiful here and really appreciates the openness of the country here. I have memory of my dad thinking that never did he miss an opportunity to support us in the activities that we did. He worked here all day, drove an hour and a half as fast as he could to get to our dance recital events and our dancing programs and baseball and the football that my brothers were in and the swimming and activities that we all were involved with. He never missed any of our events, and we're so grateful for him for the legacy that he's left for us and my mother. And I have to say, if this isn't the hardest working little lady you've ever seen, she worked so hard on the farm. She was left to shovel those trucks out into the granary and to the grain pits, and she scooped and shoveled and drove those big trucks through the field and was such a part of the farm and working with my dad side by side. And she loves and misses him so much, and we all do. And so we're so grateful for this opportunity and this wonderful award that's been presented to us. So thank you so much.
Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Kelly, you ought to come and tell us.
Oh, no, I'm good. I got my plate of food.
Okay, I'll say that. Max always took the kids in a bucket on the tractor for a ride. Every one of them, they'd go up and down. Then he'd let them drive. Our one granddaughter, this old tree that's here, she bumped into it. We thought she was going to take it down and kill all the grandkids, but she didn't. We survived.
Any last things?
You know, one last thing. I'm going to do a tribute to Mom too here. You know, back to what Margot said, that she's one of the hardest working people that have been up here on the place. I remember, you know, she and I coming up here and Bart and other kids and Mark, all of us to take care of some of the weeds in the CRP. And she's right out there with us at 85 years old, you know, and working side by side, plugging along just as fast as we are and probably outworking us. So I know she can work, and I've seen her work, you know, as Margot said, shoveling the grain trucks out, the corners, and working as hard as, if not harder than any one of us. So.
Just last, I mean, I guess everybody, we all, driving home at the end of whatever, whether it's been a week, a summer, or a day, everybody just says to each other, well, yeah, we're tired, we're old, our backs are hurting, but everybody always just has said, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
I got one last question for you guys, for each of you. How long has it been since you've been back up here, and what's it like to be back?
Yeah.
I was up here Wednesday. It wasn't too long ago. I try to get up here as much as possible. I'm back here again today, but we tried to get up here a few times in the summer, you know, the weekdays, and a lot of the weekends we're up here. I miss it, and if I had my chance, I'd live up here. There's no better place.
The last time I was here was yesterday. So before that, it was probably Saturday. We come up here, it's almost every Saturday that we're here, you know, doing things, cleaning here, taking care of the things here, taking care of the things out in the field and things like that. So we're here quite a bit. At least I'm here quite a bit through the summer months. You know, every weekend.
I was here yesterday with everyone as well, but prior to that, it was last fall, and I guess that was Dyer's woad season, wasn't it? Yeah. But you know, so it's been now going on 9 months. But you know, every time you come back, it's living in California, to come to these wide open spaces with the fresh air and white clouds. It's kind of it's hard work, and I won't belittle any of the hard work, but you know, it's fun, it's refreshing together with the family. It's rewarding.
When they come, I come.
Somebody has to tell us what to do.
Well, living out of state, I don't get here often enough, and I really do miss it. But I do try to come once a year. When I'm during the summer months, I at least get up here and try to visit at least once a year. My kids have really missed it. My oldest daughter said she hadn't been here for maybe 20 years since she was a teenager, and just really appreciates the beauty of the countryside. And they want to come more often. We're bringing grandchildren now for me, so we really enjoy it here and certainly do miss it.
Anything else you guys want to say?
What about the next generation?
I think that covers it.
Yeah, the next generation.
Go ahead and get in
Yeah,
there.
no, you guys first. You guys are doing it. No?
I think we're good.
All right, perfect.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
I'll sing.
Thank you.
Oh, now you'll see.
One last thing. I'll sing.